Many of the things in spirituality, we can understand with the analogy, a simple analogy. Okay. And of course, earlier days also they give analogies like rope and snake and blueness in the sky. Very simple analogy today is our brain is a biological computer. Okay. It's nothing more than a biological computer. What our computer has today, our brain and nervous system has. Our sense organs are the inputs. Our mouth is the output. There's a processing, some processing happens here. There's a processing happens here. There's a memory here, local memory, RAM, and a long-term memory. Okay, these are the things which are happening in a what you call as a brain is a computer. I would put it slightly, look at it as a hard computer analogy. Okay. In reality, what we call as brain is nothing but an energy system. It's an energy. In that sense, it is not a local computer. It's a computer connected to the globally to the cloud. So for our purpose of our understanding, we can take it as a individual computer or a global computer. Global. The moment you bring a global connection, you bring Ishvara into picture. Okay, Ishvara is the global. Individually, we are there. Right? If you take our brain as a standalone computer, then we'll call it as individual. If your brain as a connected computer, then we'll bring in Ishvara concept. So the brain is animated. It's activated by the presence of consciousness. Okay. Now, how the brain is formed? The brain of a child, and each person is different. So that we call as, based on the karmic impressions, a particular brain structure, particular body structure is taken. But what happens to us the moment the consciousness comes into the body, appears in the body, the child is innocent. Okay. Its intelligence is very high. You have to understand the difference between intelligence and intellect. Intellect is based on the memory, records, database. Okay. Intelligence is the present moment. The child operates with the intelligence, and the brain and nervous system of the child is in the mode of absorption, learning. That's how it should be, because the child is coming to the world fresh. The child forms the belief systems and ideas of the world based on these interactions happening within the family. It absorbs. It has no other way of knowing. And these absorbed things become deep-rooted memory in our what we call as subconscious memory, which I call as more of a hard drive. Identity is formed very quickly. The mother calls the child as some name, right? Puta, Magu, some name it starts calling, they start calling. Initially, the baby doesn't identify body with that mind, this thing. It says, when he wants the food, the baby wants food. Putta wants food, he'll say. It doesn't identify with that. Right? Why it doesn't identify? It is in the absorption mode. In absorption mode, still I have not become one with the body. I have not identified with the body. So what happens? Many of our deep-rooted impressions start getting formed in the nervous system. Of course, what borrowed impressions are there from past life also will be there. This is called a hard disk. Equivalent of hard disk is our spinal cord. A spinal cord is a repository of billions of years of evolution. It's a reptile. It's a reptile. All reptilian memories are there. Fight, flight, survival, all those things are there. And most of them are autonomous. It's instincts, right? So now that spinal cord is a repository of all unconscious memories in past. Our hunger, thirst is all driven by this spinal cord. That's where the chakras are located. Yeah. Right? It's subtle or it's physical? Chakras are subtle. Okay, the glands are physical. Right? Everything in the subtle will have a counterpart in the physical. Okay. So what happens now? The child is observing, and absorbing. This is what our deep routine. And now imagine a child is in the cradle. Child cries. Suddenly a big face appears. Mother. The child feels comfortable. And child cries. Mother is not coming because of whatever reason. She is busy with something. Then the child will have its own logic developed internally. Mind is formed, right? It forms a belief systems. Even if I something cry in the world, nothing will happen. Or if I cry, something will happen in the world. Like that, logic will develop. Right? It's on basic primitive logic. Because it's not learned with a discrimination. Now this primitive logic becomes our basis of our life. Okay? And it looks like father and mother, and they will be very sharp. Okay? The mother is angry with the father. Her face will change. She may not express it. But child's eyes will notice it. They'll mirror it internally, replicate it. They download it. Understand? So we have a genetic memory, which is passed on by parents. Genetic memory is your face, body structure and all. Your vasanas and samskaras, which are passed on from past life, some limit, some amount. Then your own vasanas and samskaras, which are come in this life. Now, vasanas and samskaras which have come in this life is not yours actually. It's observed the surroundings. And some of them you will develop later also in your life. Maybe you try to drink a cup of coffee, alcohol. You start programming yourself with a new identity. Otherwise, when you simply in simple computer language, you have to understand, these are all programs. Our brain is a biological computer. To that extent, you understand. Now, the consciousness is so intimately associated with this. It's not like consciousness pervading this, animating this. Consciousness is different, but animating and pervading. Okay. I'm not able to separate out between myself and this computer. So-called addiction will start now. I become addicted to this biocomputer. Right? And whatever I see through the computer, I'll see myself. I am seeing. Whatever I work through the computer, I say I am working. Like that will happen. In reality, I am the animating principle, consciousness principle. I don't do anything. I'm just a presence. But I identify intimately with this biological system. Right? And all memory records will be based on that only. So I did it, I ate it, I saw it. Okay? I'm angry. Your anger is not your anger actually. It is a program which is it is there in you. Right? Something you observed in life, and that becomes a program in your life. What to do? Only this whole programming mode is very, very what I'm saying, it is a very intense programming mode is there since 6 months in the womb of the mother. It starts at 6 months in the womb of the mother. Because nervous system is just soft forming. Okay. So that's where the prenatal education makes a lot of difference. How the mother's emotions are, how mother behaves, what mother listens. All those things will leave an impression in the system. And many children are they listen to some chanting and all. When they're born, those chantings will calm them. In Japan, they have observed there's a big clock tower there. Clock tower, where people, it's in a park, people go for a walking. The clock tower makes a specific sound, ding, ding, etc. Typically Japan in Tokyo, the pregnant women, they go around the clock, they go around in the park, spend some time and come back for walking. What Japanese scientists observed is that the children who are born to those mothers, even after a couple of years, the moment the ding sound comes, they calm down. finishing, right? So basically our nervous system gets impression, deep-rooted impression. Now, how the ding sound makes you calm, you don't know. we'll pay some money for meditation and spiritual practices. But the ding sound is already calming you. Similar, some mother gets angry with something, mother gets disturbed something. All those deep impressions will be, child will be nervous system impressed. Right? So our education, our learning starts at the age of 6 months in the womb of the mother. At that time, the child is almost in a sleep mode or dreaming mode. And the sleep mode or dreaming mode is called delta or theta. So the learning is quite deep. Okay. That critical faculty of the nervous system is not developed. You don't criticize, you don't analyze, right? So you have seen, no? Children will take one broomstick, one stick, okay? And they say, I'm riding a horse. For them, it's a horse only. Okay? Why is horse? Because imagination, the intellect is not developed. Intellect doesn't reject it. Intellect developed is nothing but your memories. So it will not, the imagination is real for them. Right? And the girl children, they'll start take some utensils, cook, or they cook the food and serve the food, okay, eat the food, like that they'll do. And for them, it's real. The child's play, we think it's imaginary for them. For us, it happens imaginary. For them, that imagination is real. So, and in the age group of what we call as up to 2 years, the child is in a delta stage of brain. Brain waves are, brain is not very active, brain is not noisy, very. The delta is the sleep, delta stage of the child, waking child is in the waking stage, is we going to delta, but we are unconscious and asleep in the delta. Child is conscious and in delta. Child when gets tired, body is this thing, right? Otherwise, the child's brain is predominantly working in delta. The delta is a mode of deep learning. Even for us also, if you go into delta mode, our deep learning will happen. But we don't go into that. Because if you go into delta, we'll go into sleep, unconscious. Now, right? So then comes the theta. Theta mode, brain is little bit less, more noisy. More processing is happening. So that's between the age group of 2 to somewhere around 9 or 10, whatever that age group. So there also learning is very fast. See, all the children have to learn a lot of skills at that age, right? And whatever we have learned as children, we can't learn in the adulthood. Nervous system is getting tuned. For example, one skill, right? One skill is walking. The child looks at all the people walking. I also want to walk. So it starts walking. It gets up, falls. Have you got any idea how many times child falls before it walks? It's about 1 lakh times average. Falls and gets up. It will never think I have fallen also. Memory that, the past is not coming to picture. Every time it's a new attempt. Right? Whereas as an adult, if you fall once, you will never walk also. Your vasana samskara, hard disk is open. If something happens to you, you'll never go in that way. The child will never give up. Because the child, the memory or that what you call hard disk, no? Hard disk is getting programmed. That's all. There's nothing else. Right? There's no concept of success and failure and all. Right? It's formatted. Fresh. So now it is getting recorded. And that record goes deep into the body. That's why now you walk. Walking is very natural for you. You will not even think that I am walking. Because it has gone deep into subconscious or unconscious. Right? Like that, you are pushing a lot of things in subconscious and unconscious by the formative years, 12 years. And that's just by observing the world. And our own ideas will get formed, deep-rooted. And this becomes what is we call as vasanas and samskaras, rest of our life. Of course, past life impressions, everything will be contributing. And entire spiritual journey is either you format the hard disk, which is not possible, right? It's not possible. What is there in the hard disk? How will you format it? Right? What you have learned, how you unlearn it? So you have learned driving. Can you unlearn it? No. It's not possible, no? So what you have to do is you have to learn what content of memory we have to ignore, not bother. Right? So the problem with this content of memory, this memory is organized with a pointer. The pointer is your identity. Self-identity is a pointer. Right? Like in HR, you are doing HR, right? HR, employee number so and so. His memory, his file record will be brought. How much salary is getting, how much TADA you are getting. Right? So entire data story is based on your pointer. Pointer is his employee ID or employee name. In our consciousness, and in our memory, entire thing is based on our identity. Identity is the record which will fetch the data. Right? It's a biological computer, nothing more than that. Right? How it stores is different, but ultimately is that. Now, yeah, after the age of 12, in the teenage especially, we are in the alpha mode. Alpha means more of imagination mode. Conscious mind and subconscious mind are connected. After that, we are more operating on the conscious mind. Right? Now you could take a stick and say, ride a horse. He'll laugh. Oh, what is that horse? I want a real horse. So for you, the boundary between real and unreal start developing. Right? So then what will happen? But your programs are running. Your entire life is evaluated based on these programs. Of past life, of current life. You simply, Vasana and you understand the programs. Now, some programs are good and some programs are not good, not harmful, or toxic programs, and some things is what he calls good programs. Okay, so good programs are called samskaras, good samskaras. Okay. Fortunately, a country like India, somewhere we are born with some good samskaras. Samskara means the word samskara comes to word. What is filtered? Sanskriti. Filter. So what is filtered as best practices is passed on from generation to generation to us. Maybe vegetarian food, maybe non-violence. Some of these are passed on as a best practices from early generation to us. So it gets into us very early age without knowing. So that way, it's very great opportunity to be born in a country like India, where formative years of samskara, what gets into us is a good samskara. That's why India is a Punya movie. Okay? That samskara is not in other countries. The children, their behavior, the parents, the adults, their behavior is very different. The samskara for them is a duality. The samskara for them, struggle and survival. Whereas here, samskara of dharma and karma somewhere seeps in any of the person born in any community here. In sense. That way it's a Punya movie. And the samskaras are what is the foundation of our life. And of course, there's some other things also come, family samskara and all those things come. So what is your spiritual journey? The spiritual journey is to understand this is a computer. I am the animating principle of the computer. It is nothing to do with me. Whatever is happening through this computer is nothing to do with me. Your thoughts are not your thoughts. Your actions are not your actions. Your means consciousness. Right? But I own up them because I am so intimately connected to this. The consciousness is intimately associated with this biological computer. Correct? Now, how to get out of this? There's no other way other than using this computer to get out of the computer. Computer has to be relearning has to happen. Right? That's what is called jnana, enquiry. Who am I? I'm getting angry. Who is this angry? Who is this getting angry? Right? So there's some program. It's nothing to do with you. Right? If I get angry, nothing is wrong with me. So our anger, emotions, mental disturbance, all these things are some programs stored. They get triggered under different conditions. should trigger that. Trigger. So now we start living as if it's me. Yeah. Okay, that's the problem. For a month, weeks. Not about weeks. It will go on lifelong. Lifelong. It will continue for another life also. So this is like when you wear that VR glasses, no? Google glasses, virtual reality. So you start seeing virtual world and you start believing that that's virtual reality. You are getting involved in that. So our whole body is like a virtual reality glass and this is a computer. So the problem is, how do we get out of this? Right? How do we get out of this? Once you understand, you have to take a program. Okay. No, I should not get angry. I should not have get angry. I feel guilty. Then you are adding one more program called guilt plus anger. Earlier, only one program was called anger. Now it's guilt plus anger. Understand? Yeah. You're multiplying it. We are multiplying it. So this is where now to come out of this, what we call is we take a spiritual sadhana, spiritual practice. Some of you understand we have to repair this whole system. So people started saying that I have to repair myself. In fact, I have to understand I don't have to repair myself. I have to repair the computer. Myself has no problem at all. The entire spiritual journey, people are getting into trouble because they are thinking that I'm working on myself. I'm not working on myself. I cannot work on myself. Self is not at all affected by anything. The problem with self is there is a superimposition happening. Right? See, basically, I'm wearing glasses now. When I'm wearing glasses, I don't know glasses are there. I'm so involved in talking to you. The glasses being part of my eyes. Only when I see, oh, the glasses are separate from me, then I can't, then I understand it's separate. Similarly, I should learn how to see body and mind and intellect as separate from me. Right? How it is separate from me? Whatever I am able to observe is not me. That's the Shiviveka. The seer is separate from seen. Right? So anger is there. I'm able to see the anger. I'm not angry. Depression is there. I'm able to see the depression. The problem here in our life is we cannot. Okay. We cannot catch these emotions and thoughts as they come. Okay. They are very rapid. Anger comes rapidly. Right? Or emotions come. But we can catch them at a subtler level compared to emotions and anger. Anything to happen in our body and mind, some energy movement has to happen within the body and mind. If you are able to observe the energy movement, you'll be able to catch all these thought movements and emotional movements much earlier. It is like you have a computer. Computer is giving a video movie, right? So now video movie is nothing but a programming data which is coming out. You can observe some signals here, there with the oscilloscope. Understand? This video is nothing but some signals only. So you will be able to catch the emotions and feelings and thoughts rising much earlier if you are able to pay attention to the energy in the body. Because the energy triggers this whole thing. Energy is prana, breath, and sensation, feeling. So if you are able to observe that, then you are one step ahead of thoughts and feelings and emotions rising. At that level, if you are able to observe it very equanimously, then your life will become much more equanimous. Now, the body and mind, you are observing more like a engineer, machine. It's no longer feeling. The moment it becomes a feeling, you are becoming a human being. The moment emotion comes, you are already become human. The moment wife comes, you are already become a husband. The identity is already changed. So you should look at the stage where the identity is not changing. That's at the energy level. That's the sensation level. The identity is not formed. There is a movement happening. The energy movement bubbles up, that becomes feeling, that becomes thought, that becomes this thing. So, like that, you will be aware at the deeper level of your being. The more you become aware, right? The more you become aware, what you are aware is not you. If you're aware of the body, you're not, body is not you. If you're aware of the mind, you're not, mind is not you. If you're aware of sensation, you're not you. It's just appearing, disappearing in your consciousness. Right? So that way, try to develop the awareness of the body, awareness of the breath, awareness of the thoughts. And with the understanding that the awareness is, what I am aware is not me. Right? So like, for example, when I raise my hand, I can raise very rapidly. But if I do slowly, I'll be aware of the energy movements within the hand. So everything which is happening within the body-mind complex, start becoming aware of that. Then you are not that body, you are not the mind. Understand? So that's how you understand I'm not the body, mind, or intellect. As it deepens, you start feeling a freedom. I'm nobody. I'm not a body. That's called mukti, freedom. Right? So now many people will go through some process of yoga or meditation. This actually is not, this is a process, this is a process of awareness, what I told. Yoga, meditation is a process of transformation. I have to change some of the programs. I'm getting angry. How do I develop calmness? How do I develop peace? How do I surrender to God? These are all some programs. You are modifying the program. It's called Chitta Shuddhi, purification. It's a modifying, it's a cleaning up the hard disk. It doesn't solve the problem. The root drive has to be deleted. Root file has to be deleted. The root is I. So I am nobody. Body is just an object appearing in my consciousness and disappearing. Now it's not real also. In deep sleep it's not there. In the waking state it's appearing, disappearing. So gradually body becomes an object. What you call as me as a subject becomes an object. That gives you freedom. As long as me is a subject, you'll still suffer. The me to become object, you have to apply Drak Drishya Viveka, discrimination. So now these deep-rooted samskaras or vasanas will surface to your consciousness. They'll come up. They're like stack, they're layered. There are multiple layers are there. If you imagine a tree with a root and many branches, the root is there, many branches are there. The root is nothing but I thought. I, identity. When I become husband, I become wife, I become father. So I become father will have some, all this file is stored in that tree. So only when you cut the root, the whole tree will collapse. But others will be trying to modify this. I am a husband. I have to become a better husband. Okay. Right. So, or I have to behave properly. They're all modification at the branch level. So finally, you have to go to the root. Inquire, who am I? You find that I is just an observer, the witness of this whole complex. Right? I am the witness. And the witness is Brahman. So gradually you have to move like that. You have to become free. Now what will happen? You witness something. Okay, now we have heard of a word called surrender. People think that surrender is about external things. Surrender is not about external things. Surrender is external things trigger something within us. A feeling, emotion. In fact, first it changes the energy within us. So if I am able to observe that and not react to that, then I'll be calm and equanimous. Then external things will manifest. Externally, I will be calm. If I try to be calm in the external condition, there will be outer. It has to be inside. Inside, energy, emotions, feelings, I should be equanimous. I will be able to observe it. I will be aware of that. So that's why my awareness has to go deep within me. Right? As you become aware deep within, external circumstances, favorable circumstances will come, unfavorable circumstances. So some sensation happens, some feeling rises, some emotion rises, some thought rises. But you are able to observe this whole thing internally. And understanding is a program. Then you will not react. Then if you don't react, you don't give energy to that. Then you will not react outside also. Right? The surrender is an internal process. External is just a manifestation of that. We always think that surrender is outside. So this is one definition. Then there is a concept of surrender to Guru. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena parisevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tatvashinam. See, when you come to a realized master, okay, his presence, his communication starts calming down. So now you are from beta, you are coming down to alpha. Okay, and at a beta level, at the beta thought level, our mind is noisy. Alpha level, mind is more observant. If you are able to go deeply relaxed in the presence of the master, it's called theta. Now you are in a mode of full reception without filtering, no noise, just like a child. Now you are going to theta, but in sleep. If in the presence of somebody you are able to go to theta or alpha, at least minimum, so then you are in receptive mode. Otherwise you are already constantly fight or flight mode, right? Constantly you are rejecting or accepting something in the mind at the beta, because beta is designed for outer world. So if you are able to relax in front of the master because of his presence, because of communication, then gradually slip into alpha and probably theta. Then what will happen? Every word of the master will straight away go deep into the hard drive. It will straight away. So it will destroy something inside. That's why Vedanta says, Shravana matrena mukti. Listening alone gives mukti. Why listening gives mukti? Now when you are listening, right now if you are listening to the beta brainwave, you are actually constantly judging, evaluating and all. If it goes to alpha, it will be slightly go deeper. If you go into theta, deeply relaxed, whatever master says, straight away, the presence of the master, the communication brings such interaction, such meeting is called darshana. In the darshana, life gets transformed. Darshana is not just seeing, darshana is being. So when you go and have darshana with the master leaves a print on you, because your mind has become from beta, it has gone to alpha to theta, receiving mode. Otherwise, your mind is constantly evaluating, constantly comparing everything you talk, just thoughts will keep on coming. People think that Vedanta is just questioning. It's not questioning. It is stopping the questioning and slipping from beta to alpha to theta, receiving mode. That's called surrender. Any questions? See,
Prabhuji, it is that para state, correct? You know, the para, madhyama, and right? So whenever it comes up, we already know that emotion is going to come.
Yes. So anything has para, pashyanti, madhyami, vaikaru. Okay. So the awareness is right now, the para, pashyanti, madhyami, vaikaru is that the manifestation, the sound. Para is the deepest level. It's actually transcendent level or maya. Pashyanti is when it started moving in the intellect. Madhyami is in the or energy level. Vaikari is when it comes to speech. So what happens? Our awareness right now is at the Vaikari, gross. So our awareness has to be subtle, deeper.
So this is only through awareness and deep silence to get that.
Atma Vichara will help you to reduce that, loosen that identity. Right? All identities are loosened. All belief systems are loosened. Awareness will help you to go deeper into your own consciousness. And you are not affected by anything which is happening at the deeper level. Freedom. When you do self-enquiry, who am I? The I is not a body, mind, and intellect. I is pure awareness. And if your attention goes to pure I, there's no thought, there's nothing, just like a waking sleep. Jagrata Sushupti. In the waking sleep, your body, mind, and intellect is in restful state. You are like sleep-like, which is actually almost like theta or delta. And you're fully aware like maybe alpha. So in that state, a lot of deeper changes happen within your consciousness. Whatever you called as important identity, me identity starts dissolving. That's called vasanas That's called Vasanakshaya. So again and again, we have to go back and go back to my original state, pure awareness. It's not, I cannot go back. My attention has to go back to who am I? My attention has to shift.
When we started the conversation, you said the vasanas are not out. It's not my vasanas. It's not my body's vasanas. And the reason being, as you explained, it is the...
Is that the same question or a different question? Okay.
The programs that we have acquired, similarly the programs we acquired in previous life, the totality of it is why we say it's not ours, but it's the programs that we have accumulated. And then the other thing which you said, which I'm trying to understand is, first understand the energy that will help us.
Become aware internally, deeper levels energy, deeper levels idea, then energy, then feeling, then thought. It rises that. As you become more and more aware, it will happen.
So there could be some instances that are very annoying because of my belief versus somebody else's belief. So the moment that person starts saying something, I get very irritated. In that precise moment, if I become aware of the energy, I go back to the source, I may also say, this is fine, let it be, let me stay calm. But then I might not be able to tell them what they're saying is wrong, which is the role that I have to play.
So, what is the question?
So while being aware, I still have to play that part in that drama that no, you still have to do it, but still internally remain connected to that source.
Correct.
This is what.
See, Atma Dhnana will not give you new skills. Atma Dhnana help you to maintain your calmness. Skills of your professional skill, communication skill, you have to apply.
Yeah.
The only difference is earlier, when somebody talks something, you are getting, mind was, your question is, I am interacting with somebody. The person is maybe saying nothing. I have to correct the person. His belief systems I have to correct. Okay. The emotions will rise in me, feelings will rise in me. Yes, as you become more aware, you become aware that these are programs coming. Okay. So I'm not the program. Then you have become conscious. Then this computer called body and mind, you'll be able to use consciously. Earlier you are unconsciously getting used to it. All right. Unconsciously you are reacting. So now you are conscious. Now what is the appropriate action? That appropriate action will be based on your skill, whatever skills you have. Right? Suddenly you cannot start talking in French or German. Whatever skills you have, whatever knowledge you have, that knowledge only has to be used. But only thing is you will be using it more calmly, more peacefully, without getting hurt, without getting affected internally. You are not getting involved in the problem. You are detached from the problem. At the same time, you will be able to solve the problem much more efficiently. It is like a doctor. They don't do surgery for their own relatives. Because when they do surgery, they'll become father or mother and their hands will shake. But they're able to do a surgery for other patients very well. Their skills they're able to because they're detached. So what you learn is you'll be internally detached. Then your actions will be much more efficient. The same skills what you have, but it will be applied more efficiently. You are using the brain and nervous system as an instrument, body as an instrument rather than I am the body. Right? The problem is we are entangled with this body. So gradually the detachment is internal. It's nothing to do outside. Internal conditions have to be able to aware and observe. And with the awareness that I am pure awareness, I am Brahman, I am Sakshi, that has to go deeper. Any questions for people on Zoom? Yes, Pubal, you have any questions?
Probably sometimes in my previous teaching, it's always said that the ignorant is the jivatma. Okay, so the jivatma has to be educated always the time. So what is the difference with this one, the awareness that we know, go deep in that, and then the jivatma has to get the nana.
Let us stop that. So anybody on Zoom, any questions? Vaniji? Chikegowda or Pratibha?
Yeah, good.
Yes, Swani.
Hari Om Prabhuji, the
Hariom.
chain where you said anger is a program,
Yes.
and then guilt becomes one more program saying I should not get angry.
Right.
So, how do we abort those chains?
How do we?
Abort those chains.
Yeah. See, the problem is everything starts at the para level, Pashyanti, Madhyami, and Vaikari. Everything starts at a very deep level, right? Para, Pashyanti, Madhyami, Vaikari.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So when I say I should not get angry, the anger also already come to Vaikari level, gross level. At that level, it's very difficult to stop it.
Okay.
Only, of course, you can, you get angry, instead of hitting that fellow, you may just say, shout at him. I mean, your actions may change, but otherwise, anger has already come within you.
Okay.
Right? So, the solution is, the anger is actually coming out of a feeling of insecurity. I'm inadequate. I wanted this to happen this way. This is not happening. So I'm not in control.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not in control. I wanted this in this way. I'm not in control. That's where anger rises. So now gradually, as you become aware, I am pure awareness. Any situation has nothing to do with me. I'm independent. I'm pure awareness. So no situation will really, the control question doesn't come into me at all. It is coming to my identity. As a husband or as wife, I may feel I'm not in control. But as awareness, I'm unaffected by this.
Yeah.
So in that situation, what will happen? You will be able to observe the internal changes, para, pashyanti, madhyami, vaikari, and you will be able to take appropriate action rather than reactions, programmed reactions. Your actions will be much more conscious. From unconscious actions, you'll move into conscious actions. Unconscious reactions, you'll move into conscious understanding. You may still show anger, but there will be no real anger which will burn inside you. It'll become, basically, for us, this entire thing is a black box. Most of the human beings, the body and mind is a black box. Understand?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Like a computer is a black box for most of us. We just know how to use the computer. We don't know what is happening internally. Right? Computer is a black box to all of us. But for an engineer, computer is not a black box. Right? He understands what's happening internally. Like that, in spiritual journey, our body and mind and our emotions are now no longer a black box. They'll become transparent to us. We become aware of them. And in that awareness, they become objects. In that objects, I will not identify the objects, but I identify the body because I'm intimately connected. But when it's objectified, there's no identification. Right? When there's no identification, our mind intellect starts thinking very clearly. Actions will be much more clearer. Are we clear?
Yes, Prabhuji. Clear.
Anybody else, any questions? Satyavati, Sriram?
Hari Om Enilla Guruji, very clear.
Okay. So, are we clear? So we'll go to the next question. Can you stop this?